Welcome to Radio 99111, the late night show.
You're so annoying. So annoying.
So welcome back to the channel, y'all. Of course, this is the Pit Squad. We are your hosts.
To the girl I love the most.
No cray. Okay, anyway, so welcome back to the channel. This video is gonna be a little twist. Before we talk and introduce the video, pause the video, subscribe. Now. Yeah, like stop waiting. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Go ahead, like the video. Share the video, even if you haven't watched it yet. That's okay. Just support.
No, I was wondering, like,
Just
why
support.
did they? I haven't even watched the goddamn video yet. You want me to like and share?
Share
Let
it.
me watch it first.
Share it. But anyway, so on today's late night show,
Are you doing an ASMR?
on today's late night show, we will be discussing. Oh, I want to do a radio report. CNN News. We did, in fact, find that we wanted to know a little bit more about your previous dating history and what.
You're having too much fun with these mics. I'm telling you. Way too much fun with these mics.
We did want to know a little bit about your dating history, and if you could go back in time, what would you tell yourself? What would be those 4 resounding facts or just tidbits of information that you would like to know? Bill?
Send help. Send
Okay,
help.
I'm stop. Okay, seriously. So,
Not Bill. Most common, weatherman name you could think of.
yeah, it just went float. Okay. Anyway, so
Back to you with the station.
back to you, Bill. So this video is going to be about if you could go back in time to tell your younger self for your most serious relationship, what would be the piece of advice or pieces of advice you would give yourself?
More specifically, your very first boyfriend.
Oh, first one.
Yeah.
Your first one might have been like the most like the
That's what I
serious
said,
one.
the first boyfriend that was the most serious.
That's what I just said.
That's not what you just said.
Okay, we'll replay the clip. And if I'm wrong, oh well, I'm still right. You go first.
It's fine. I'll go first. Well, there are many. Like I told Nicole, this is going to be a long one.
Oh,
We're
I
gonna
sure
switch
to
it
God
up.
hope not.
I'm going to cut it off. So I
Okay.
have a lot to say to
You have a
my
lot to
younger
say.
self.
Okay.
First one. This is a simple one. Listen to your mother. She is not trying to withhold anything from you. She's not trying to keep you locked away in the basement, single forever. And if she is, we pray and we're just standing in faith with you that she would release you on today.
Release those chains.
But she cares about you, and she's been there, done that.
Very much so.
Like, I wish I would have taken the time. Like, you know what, Mom? What are you saying? What are you saying to me? Okay, you said I shouldn't be with him. Why?
But she would always tell us the why.
Yeah, but listen, though.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Listen. That's like the main.
That's the main thing. 'Cause she told us.
Listen.
Just okay.
Yeah, and I never really like truly asked and like wanted to know her answer.
No,
Like I'm gonna
absolutely
be real
not.
about that.
Yeah.
Like it was like, okay, you don't like him. Like, okay, why? Like it was just more like, okay, well, loosely, why don't you like him?
Right.
Or why don't you see him for me? Because that was another thing. Like I feel like a lot of times you think like, Mom, you just don't want me to have fun. And it's not even about that. It's about her being able to see who her baby girl is going to spend the rest of her life with potentially. And she wants the best for you. So if she's saying, hey, there's something about him that's like off, or yeah, he's a nice guy, because that was it for me. Like, he's a nice guy. I just don't see him for you. I feel like that's like the biggest
She
thing
just
that I
really
would
didn't like
come
most of my boyfriends.
from. That's not true.
I said most of them.
Yeah. So your answer?
My first piece of advice, honestly, would be that the reason why is, so it was funny, and when I was in high school, I went through a lot of like me and my mother have very similar personalities, so we were like this all the time.
They're
like,
one in the same.
We're one in the same, like,
yeah.
arguing constantly. So like when she was telling me anything, whether it was friendships, relationships, I was like, I'm not trying to hear that. Like, I know what's best. Me being a 16-year-old going through nothing, I said, I know what's best.
I know, I've got this life
Right,
thing
this is-
figured out. I'm
I
sure
said,
what you have going on
whatever
at
you
16.
have, the experience.
But I'm mature.
No, exactly. I'm an adult at this point, so I don't need to hear anything you're saying.
Thank you, but no.
Exactly. So I was very much egocentric,
Very much.
very simple-minded, and when she gave me information, and she would blatantly tell me, like, you know, this person, like, you need to stop. And like, even if I tried to, like, when I was younger and had to ask for permission to go places, she'd be like, nope. Nope. And I'm like, wow.
Do you have any other words?
Right? So I'm like, I'm like, but what if I clean the basement, do the dishes, clean my room? Like, then can I go? And sometimes she would let me go.
Right.
And I think it was on purpose to probably, like, so I could be in certain situations so that I could see, like, what she was talking about, maybe.
100%.
But most of the times it was, like, I remember I asked to go somewhere, like, pretty important to, like, my boyfriend at the time, like, somewhere that he wanted me to go to. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, oh, absolutely not.
Of course, absolutely not.
Yeah, so she really didn't play that. And I'm definitely very grateful that she did that. But I think that's probably the biggest thing. And I also, like, not only listening to your mother, but also how I would say to myself, look and see how
that
person, it ties in with number one.
Okay.
Look and see how that person treats your mother and family. Are big indicators of just, anything. Like, if they don't have respect for your mother, they don't have respect for your family members, they
ain't got respect for you.
They don't, or themselves, and they can't speak. My biggest pet peeve, like, when I used to bring people over to my house, is like, they don't speak when they walk in. I'm like, not that you're not speaking. Not that you're not speaking. Like, you need to say, like, hello. You know what I mean? Because then my mom is going to get in your butt for not speaking, and now that makes you uncomfortable, you awkward, me uncomfortable. It's just not a good situation.
You're right.
So I used to hate that. Like, oh my God. Like, in my head, opening the door, I'm like, okay, I hope this person says, like, hello, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah.
The bare minimum.
We're
not asking for a lot.
You know. But yeah, I think that'd be like one thing.
Number one. Okay. My second one. Oh, this is a good one. This one might take a half a minute. I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow.
This one, to brace myself. Put yourself. I know.
Uh-oh.
Give me a moment.
Okay. Get it together.
Oh. So I would tell my younger self.
Yeah.
To put yourself first, girl.
Mm.
And it sounds selfish, I know. But
it's
put
really
yourself
not, though.
First. Do not put no boy, little nappy-headed boy.
Yeah.
Or smooth-headed little boy.
The waves.
Wave-headed little boy. Do not put him before yourself.
That's good.
And this is a good indicator that I knew I had completely lost myself in the guy that I was dating. Again, we're talking about my first serious boyfriend. Is that when we broke up, like officially, like I felt so lost. Like I felt so depressed. Like I fell into like a deep depression. And it was, the loss of the relationship, obviously, but it was more like, who am I? Like, I feel like you get, if you're not careful, and I'm sure you can do this in marriage too, but like you get so wrapped up in the relationship, who we are as a couple. People begin to identify you as a couple. People say, oh, where's your better half? I mean, I was obviously the better half, but
oh my God.
I mean,
clearly.
But people would be like, where's your partner? People would ask you, they would begin to like clump you together. They wouldn't see you individually. At least that was my experience. So then when you guys separate, you have to kind of refigure out, okay, what do I like? What are my goals? What is my purpose? Again, that's individual to who I am specifically. It's something that only I can do, not what that couple and that unit could do. Hope that makes sense.
It does.
So I feel like that's the number 2 thing is just putting yourself first. And that doesn't mean that you walk around egotistical and it's all about me. It's about being able to like say, okay, we're about to get in a relationship. I'm not going to succumb myself to putting your needs, your wants, your desires, your goals even before mine.
Yeah.
Especially if we're not married.
Right.
It's about me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love you.
Because that perspective changes a little bit when you're married. But it's still,
right.
You still have to make time for you, and
absolutely. But it shifts a little bit though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes their goals can be necessarily the primary focus, and that shifts sometimes for yours. So it's like it's both.
Right.
Yep. But that was my second one.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think one of the I would honestly say, yeah, that was. I'm gonna say this. I only had really one serious relationship.
I say it too.
So
one that you may only want to remember, but you had two.
I don't want to remember none of them.
But I'm just
none of them. I don't. I mean, no, they taught me some very valuable things. But to what you said, like I did the same thing where like I lost. And if that person's watching this video, you were I'm not.
You can suck a big toe.
I'm just kidding. I hope you're doing well.
That's right.
But I lost in a week. This is so dangerous. I lost 15 pounds. I couldn't eat. I had it was just really bad. Because it was like, oh my God, I can no longer communicate with who I considered my best friend, someone I was constantly in communication with. It was a really low point. I was really, really depressed probably for 4 or 5 months. Just wait. It was bad. Anyway.
It took me 6.
Yeah, it took me a while to get over him.
Right. But I'm saying get out of the depression.
Yeah, it took a minute. But I've been that bee. So so I had to shake that off. And I was right, it's still that bee. So I was no, because
depressed too.
Because this is your loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not the one who's at a loss here.
That's good.
So that's come into that mindset.
That's good.
But you do still have to go through that, be
100%.
Get through it. But I was nah.
Very good.
But my second thing is, do not lower your standards to make somebody else happy.
That's so good.
So, I'm gonna be open. I'm gonna be what Pastor Mike said.
Humble, open, transparent.
Humble, open, transparent.
Shout out Transformation Church.
This is probably when I was in college, I told myself, I was like, I'm gonna wait till, marriage to have sex, all the things.
We're gonna wait.
I was gonna wait. And that did not happen, because. And that did not happen because the person who I was with, I knew that person for a while. I was very comfortable with them, and I felt a pressure to do it because of external things happening. I was like, oh wow, I have to do this to keep him happy, because girls are just throwing themselves at him, and I have to make sure he knows I
can put it down.
and I'm the one. This is
you don't need that from me. You need that from me.
Right, you don't need that from nobody else, because if I'm not giving it to you, somebody else is going to give it to you. So
right.
Let me just do this. And I also was letting stuff slide, and he started skating, you know what I mean? So there were certain things that I just in general would not have tolerated, but because I had such a affinity for him and such a
and I feel the exposure that he had too was very much like you said,
yeah,
you just feel you had to, because he was just, I don't want to say top of the food chain, but
so to speak, top of the food chain.
His exposure, he was just open to a lot because of his position.
So I was like, oh wow, this is fight or yeah, I have to give it all. But I did that because I loved him so much, and I was like, I really I do not want to lose him, because I really, really love him. But I'm a spoiler alert. That didn't keep him. Aww, shock. But yeah, I would definitely tell myself respect yourself enough. That's the biggest thing. Is I think I respected him more than I respected myself.
Ouchie.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my second thing.
Okay, what's my third thing? The third thing is don't put him in place of God.
Ooh.
So what I mean by that, and again, this is just kind of resounding what we just said, but I feel we can I was talking to myself. I was like, God, I want a good boyfriend. I want, a loyal boyfriend, blah, 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 blah. And I'll totally admit it that I didn't really want a boyfriend for like the right reasons. I just kind of wanted one to have one. That's not to say that I didn't care for the people that I did end up in a relationship with, but how it started was just kind of I just wanted a boyfriend. I thought it was the thing to do, the thing to have. So I prayed for a boyfriend, and in my mind, he gave me the boyfriend that I prayed for. I was like, oh my gosh, that you answered my prayer.
You said, this is
amazing.
It can't even get better.
Yeah, I was like, oh my, you heard my every little pretty. And then now that, you gave me what I want, okay, God, I don't really need you now because you kind of gave me what I needed. So in a sense, I'm kind of going to make this guy my God in like a little G sense. Yeah. Where again, I'm not really trying to like please you. I'm trying to please him. Like, what is?
And he's replacing the time.
Exactly. He's replacing the time. He's replacing the focus. He's replacing everything that you had once before. So just be very, 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 very careful that you don't do that.
One thing I would also tell myself, this is my third thing, is I'm proud of you for putting your studies first and your career goals first. Because I did some pretty bad stuff. Not like bad stuff, like a bad sense, but like stuff where like I'm like, wow, I wish you wouldn't have done that because you would have, learned from this. But I'm glad that like I respected myself enough or cared for my future enough to not be like, okay, well, I'm going to just essentially throw my life away to make sure that you're happy, or throw my career goals or plans in mine. Be like, I can put this on the back burner to make sure that, you get what you need and X, Y, and Z, because that was essentially what was presented to me. And I would say, oh, this is where I draw the line. I guess that's that you can cheat on me, disrespect me, but
but you're not going to come with me in my education.
But ask me to do that. That was absurd. So, which I don't, yeah. So I would say, you go, girl. In that sense.
I echo that. You go, girl.
Yeah, very good.
So I'm the opposite. I did the exact opposite of that. I totally let my focus.
She never liked school, no way. You never was doing school.
But I totally didn't do that. And I so that's my 3.A is I echo what she just said.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, do it. Do what she said. Put yourself first. Again, put yourself first.
But in every aspect, put yourself first.
In every aspect, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. My fourth one, we're on 4, yes. I'm going to touch this one, then I'm going to kind of go to my real number 4. So this kind of, I should have lumped it with the other one.
Quickly.
I'm still gonna say it. Yeah. Is don't persuade.
Oh, I said
persuade
what?
God's answer. So again, to the point that I just
you said, Jesus, tell me if this is it, and he showed you said that can't be, tell me again.
Yes. Yes. I say nothing more than that. Don't do that.
You said that couldn't have been. You said, Lord, if he is not the one, drop lightning. Lord, if he is not the one, make me fall out right here. Fall out. That can't be it. It was coincidence. Lord, if he is not the one.
That's honestly, as obnoxious as those prayers are, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I did. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Very
Take
good.
him for what he said. So my fourth one is pay attention to the red flags. Depending on where this video goes, it's either one that we already did or one that's coming after this one, but it's going to be called Dating Contract. So go look that up. Watch that next after this.
Very good.
And it's basically talking about like someone putting in like writing what their expectations are, what their needs are, blah, 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 blah. But pay attention to the red flags early on.
Very good.
I would say. And I would expound red flags to not just like someone like hitting you or talking bad about you or like being like a narcissist. Like those are red flags. Absolutely. Leave.
Yeah.
But like some red flags are like sneaky. Like a red flag for me in my relationship, like I said, like my first serious relationship, like he was a great guy. Great guy. Not many red flags. Actually, there was none. Like
I feel like all the guys that even both of us have dated have all been good guys.
Good guys.
Like they haven't been like bad guys.
Correct.
Just make poor decisions and poor Yeah, but the foundation, their core, they're all good guys.
Correct, 100%. And
well,
so a red flag for me in the first relationship was that I never felt really at peace. Like that was a red flag that I chose to ignore.
Explain.
So, like whenever I was like around family, let's just say, like my mom, for example, would say, "Hey, like I really like such and such. However, like I don't think that he's." Like,
you said so. Mommy wasn't granting you the peas.
The one for you, yeah. She was a peas snatcher. No, but she was the conviction that I already heard in my own self. Like it was, God had already told me that exact same thing. Like he's a great guy. Not saying that he's a bad guy. He's just not the one that I have for you. And even when she said that, like I would just get so defensive, like and just try to like refute whatever it was again that I already knew like inside. So something like it's an inside feeling like in my gut and I nowhere of nowheres. Like I know that this isn't the relationship that I'm supposed to be in. So I guess just listening to like that quiet voice that the Holy Spirit puts in all of us because it's there to guide us. And that's a red flag. Consider that a red flag. That's not something that you passively like, oh, okay, that will go away. It doesn't. From experience, absolutely doesn't. It just gets louder and louder and louder until you have absolutely no choice but to listen to it. And you get such a peace. You get such a peace after you listen, and it's like, oh, I'm settled now. Like I'm content. Like I knew that wasn't what I was supposed to be in.
This might actually be my last point because they're kind of in two. But do not let social media define your relationship, and or do not let social media dictate. I guess is define and dictate is kind of synonymous there, but what I mean by that, and also with that, is do not, like, if you have a feeling, if you have a feeling of like this person is doing this and it's something that's like crossing your boundaries, acknowledge that feeling and you can inquire about that feeling. But for women's intuition, you pretty much know, like, and when I'm talking about like somebody cheating, like, you shouldn't have to go through messages, you shouldn't have to go through emails, you shouldn't have to go through likes. Like, that's, first of all, it's so much work. Like, it's
correlate. He said that he was busy, but he was on. But
it's just a lot of work. It's a lot of research, to be honest. And
it's exhausting.
Yeah, because it takes you from here to here, and then you connect 3 + 2. Then you got 5, and then you get 6, but then maybe it's 9, and then so it's all these things. And honestly, you shouldn't have to do that. Like, you should feel secure enough in your relationship and in yourself, because sometimes, even before you do, it might not even be like the relationship that's causing that. It could be an insecurity, and you just like, well, I can't believe that he would not cheat on me, or like,
right, that's very good.
You know, he has all this. So why is he not? So you're trying to, in your mind, you create situations. So you're trying to validate those situations with proof. When instead you can just do some internal work and be like, well, why am I feeling this way? What's the root issue or the root cause? Along with social media, don't expect, like, when I was younger, I'm like, and I've said this before, like, I was like, I need to be on your page, like, I need to be, you know, bio pictures, like, all of that.
It should basically be my page.
It should be basically my page. It should be a fan page of Nicrae, is what your page needs to be. Like, on stories, all of that. But no, I would tell myself that that's not something that's important, because people post people on their page all day, and that means nothing.
Correct.
But also in that same sense, I would just tell myself, work on yourself, because I had a lot of like just deep insecurity, and it was being amplified in the relationship, which was some of my fault. Well, which was all my fault for the insecurity part anyway. So, and sometimes you being insecure and like constantly questioning and constantly like, well, you do, you know, like accusing can make that, not that it'll make that person, but it can make that person feel like they have to go out and do that. Be like, okay, well, she's thinking I'm doing this, I might as well just go do it. But if they're cheating, if they already have in their mind they're going to cheat, they're going to cheat. But I'm just saying like, don't be so insecure that you're constantly, you're projecting that onto the other person.
That's good.
And that's my last little advice that I give myself, because I'm pretty much, you know, perfect. I'm kidding.
Number 5.
Number 5.
My number 5 would be keep it locked.
Oh my God.
Until you get that
rock.
We said this.
Which is hard, to be honest.
I know.
We know it?
I know. But the reason, hear me out.
Hear you out.
Check me out.
Check you out, okay. You need the mic for this?
Maybe I do.
Yeah.
Where am I going?
I don't know.
Sex.
Okay, the sex
opens the door.
Yeah.
To, I'll say this.
Say it.
When you have sex, things that are issues, blatant issues, become more just like annoyances.
Okay.
Because you have that intimate connection with that person. I.e., example, cheating. If you weren't having sex,
right,
it could be said, stated, that it would be easier for you to leave the relationship
emphatically
if you hadn't opened them legs.
True.
But once you open them legs, the cheating becomes more like, well, let's discuss why it happened.
Yeah.
And
you have blinders on.
And let it not happen again.
Yeah, you have blinders on.
You have complete blinders, like things.
You can't see clearly, you're digmatized.
You can't see clearly now, the virginity's gone.
Or even if the virginity's not gone, you can't see clearly now because he's in. No, I'm about to go really bad.
Yeah, just bring it back. Let's bring it back. You get the point that we're saying
stop.
Here. Don't. Again, your body, your choice. But again, if I were to go back and tell myself, I would say, this is all sex. Let's just be real about that. This is all sex. So this is legs open. This is mouth open. This is hands closed. Keep the hands closed. Can we be honest about this thing?
Your hands closed. Your legs don't be open.
No, I'm saying there's open leg sex. Yeah. There's oral sex.
Right.
And then hand job.
Yeah, but you said keep the hand closed. How you doing?
No,
keep the hand open, you mean? Open hand.
I meant like clench. Keep them hands clenched.
Oh my God. Yes, very good.
So just all of that. So just don't even allow it.
Okay.
If it comes, and I know it will come, because it all will come, because we're sexual beings.
Right.
So our bodies are meant to desire. However, when it does come, I think just having like safeguards in place. So boundaries. So again, I would tell myself to have hard, concrete boundaries. And this is a red flag. If he's not helping you in those boundaries, or if you've discussed like, hey, like let's not hang out alone after 11 o'clock. Let's not even do it, because that's when I'm, and you're probably more loose. And if he is not one to adhere to those boundaries, he's coming over 12 o'clock, he's, not leaving until such and such a time, and you've said, like, I really need your help with this. Like, I need you to keep me accountable, I'm going to keep you accountable, and he's not doing that. That's a red flag. Absolutely not. Because, again, what other boundaries is he going to cross? Vice versa. What other boundaries is she going to cross? If she can't help you, again, be accountable in that simple boundary that you have set up to safeguard yourself and him, because it goes both ways. He, again, will begin to give you excuses now for your shenanigans because of the sex. So if you have little sisters, if you have cousins and they're like, I want to hear you, I'm gonna go have sex, send them this video. Let them know that it's not just you saying not to have sex.
Yeah.
We're telling you
on another
not
note
to do it.
These sexual intercourses.
Oh my gosh.
They are soul ties.
Yes, they are.
Yes. I've spoken on this on another video.
Have you? Which one?
Another late night session. I don't remember what video it was.
You can't help the people.
Just watch all our videos.
Oh, okay.
Find it. But Anyway, so in the video, I did talk about how like soul ties. Or maybe did I? No, I'm pretty sure I did. Soul ties and how like you pick up characteristics and attributes of that person that you have slept with. And think about this. Not only are you picking up their attributes and characteristics, but you're picking up the attributes and characteristics of the people they've slept with as well.
This is true.
So it's a continual like,
cycle.
It's just it's a cyclical
cycle.
A continuation of gaining new attributes, and those attributes might not always be the ones you want.
Correct.
So protect your heart, protect your.
That's what it's all about. Just protect
your vaginal canal.
Protect it all.
Protect your penis. Protect. Did I say mouth?
No, but
protect your mouth.
Protect it.
Protect all the orifices.
When he comes over,
all of the openings and orifices.
When he comes over, you keep those hands locked.
Unless you guys have it discussed where you just feel like
you just can't wait and it has to happen now, and that's your choice.
Yeah, it's absolutely your choice.
Just be forewarned that it does.
Yeah, you have to be aware of the consequences, and if you're ready to accept those consequences, then that's a choice.
Okay.
But know the consequences. Okay.
I think that's all
that's all. Thank you for tuning in to Late Night Sessions with the Bit Squad. If you want to hear more of my singing, subscribe. I'm kidding. I won't do any more singing. I know I can't sing, so it's okay.
You can give your all.
I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. Okay, your turn.
Till next time. See you later, guys.
See, she's not even right.